preach what I want to preach from Phillipians. Stay with me. I'm traveling, so I know how to change that thing up. You can go to Phillipians, go to the 4th chapter. If you don't mind, you go to the 11th verse. I want to read 11 through the 13th verse. You may be seated. Thank you. You're so kind. Let me read something for you. I want to read Philippians 4:11. All right. It says in thusly, he says, now that I speak in respect of one, for I have learned whatsoever state that I am, therewith to be content. He says, I know both how to be abased, and I know how to be abound. Everywhere in all things I am instructed, both to be full and to be hungry, both to be abound and to suffer need. I can do all things. I need a word, church, now. Through Christ.
Yes, Lord. Yes, Lord.
Oh. Strengthen me. My God, my God. I want to preach about learning godly contentment. Learning godly contentment. The word of the Lord is already blessed. Learning godly contentment. Learning godly contentment. Usually, everything that we do, we have a reason. And any time you deal with reason or reasoning, reason is a noun. It is the act or process of a person who has a reason. Reason, the process of, I form the conclusion. I have judgment or inference from some facts or some premises. Reason, I have augmented proof resulting from what I have processed in my mind, what I have processed in my spirit, what I have processed from my upbringing. Reasoning, I processed it from my education. And when you look at reason, it is a bias or cause as for some belief, some action, some fact, some event. And if you remember when President Bush was in office, he made the statement that there is a reason for declaring war. And everybody under my voice have ascertained in your mind, I got a reason for what I'm going through. And matter of fact, I don't understand why I'm going through it, but there's a reason. And whether my reasoning is false or whether it is factual, I have a reason. Matter of fact, let me attack it this way. A reason is a statement presented to justify or explain my belief or my actions. And one of the hardest things in the world is when you do some stuff and don't understand why you're doing what you're doing. Stay with me. I'll be your partner with reason. I just want to deal with this reasoning to set my framework of where I'm going. Reasoning also deals with mental power, concerned with forming a conclusion. Now watch this. You can look at a person and form a conclusion about them without knowing anything about them. Am I making sense? Matter of fact, this is a righteous church, so I can say this. You can just look at a person and dislike them for some reasons that has nothing to do with the person. Look, you can't grow hair, but they can. Wrong stage. So you got a reason to dislike anybody because they got some misclerical. Lord, y'all slowly help me. They got a reason. You can justify your reason. See, you can justify anything you want to do, whether it's good, bad, ugly, or indifferent. I don't go to church because the choir sang too long. I don't go to church, and I don't go to that Cornerstone Church because I don't like the tie he wears. Any reason to do it. Come to us, watch. You can just justify a reason. I don't sit on the left-hand side of the church because they look at me strange on that side. So you can justify I don't pay tithe because I'm broke. You ain't just got broke. Come on, any reason to do it. Come on, anybody had just realized how many times you use reasons for just justifying. You know when you gonna call work tomorrow morning and clear your throat, saying I'm not feeling good today. Any reason to do, just tell them you ain't coming. Tell them I need to have a vacation day. I need to get some air between my ears. But my point is that reasoning can make you form conclusions, judgment, or inference about a situation. Reason can make you have good sense or bad sense. Reason can make you offer fortuitous explanations or justifications. You remember, this ain't the text I want to deal with, but Michael, you remember when that man was at the pool. He had been there for 38 long years. And listen at the reason. It says, I would have got in, but then nobody put me in. Reasoning. I'm just helping you out here. Just stay with me for a moment. Look, in 38 years, Hal, he could have tripped in the pool. 30 years you laying next to the pool. Somebody could have bumped you into the pool. Matter of fact, let me argue the text that guess what? If you've been at the pool for 38 years, how did you get that? At least, matter of fact, the folk that brought you there, they know you needed to get in the pool. They at least could have just dropped you off in the pool. Ain't no sense of dropping you near the pool. gonna dip you at least. I mean, they could have got some sprinkle some water and put it on you. I mean, but any reason will do. So whenever man's reasoning does not align with what God wants for us, we tend to do one thing. We tend to worry. I want to stay there for a moment because I'm getting ready to erase some stuff. It's easy to justify not being a good man. Y'all slow down. It's easy to justify not being a good woman. Any justification I do, I mean, it's easy to justify doing something crazy. You didn't have the money, but I bought the TV. And you got 10 TVs already. I mean, any excuse to do. I mean, the reasoning, and when you look at it, and I dare you to start just listening at folk reasoning for doing things, and you will start saying, before you, don't cut them off, whatever you do, don't cut them off, look, don't cut them off, let them talk, and you just listening at the reason. I promise you, if you listen, don't cut them off, don't you cut them, let me go here. Don't cut them off, let them talk. Just let them talk. If you let them talk long enough, you said that don't make sense. Just let them talk. I mean, just let them talk. And then see, a good liar have to keep telling lies. Come closer, you know, so reason. So when you don't handle, when man's reasonings don't line up with God's reasoning, we tend to worry. Watch this. You live in Memphis, Tennessee, and you cannot justify for the sake of your life why in the world God got you in this city. Matter of fact, come on, talk to me here. You should have been gone a long time ago. But you don't understand why is it that the Lord got you with your hard-headed self and Big Mama them live in another city. My brother them live in another city, and it seems like I can make it so much better. Matter of fact, if I move with my foot, I ain't even got to pay no house. No, guess what? I ain't got to pay no MLG and W. I ain't got to get no cable because they ain't got 2 channels. And guess what? I can save some money, but yet and still, God got you in Memphis, Tennessee. Stay with me for a moment. I got the honest. Why is it that the Lord just let you stay with some folk that you should have been divorced? Y'all making my knees aching. Make me understand. Why is the Lord? Oh, shit. You think you the stuff, and you know you got your little Sunday go to meeting clothes on that. Can't nobody tell you don't look good, and you straight struggling. You look at your reasoning. I pay tithe, I got a job, I got a car, I ain't got no gas money, but at least got a car. I can't pay insurance, don't nobody know it, but I got a car. And I don't understand why God don't give me somebody. And I know I'm the stuff. Look at me. I got my hair fixed this week, and it seemed like God sent. Everybody don't look like they need to have a man, and He sent them one, but I can't understand why He don't never send me one. This ain't good. This ain't good. Hold on. So because of my reasoning, shark here. Sister Williams, Knox, I worry because guess what? How I look at the situation and how God looks at the situation is totally different. And because my reasoning don't line up with what God got for me. Lord have mercy. My ways are not God's ways. My faults are not God's. So, and you all thank God. Oh, shucks. I got a couple of you babies. You should have been running around the church. Right about there. Guess what? That was your time to get on program. You all, I know a couple of y'all in here. And you all thank God. God don't think like you. Matter of fact, that's the first time you should have been doing a backflip in the church. And guess what? If God thought like you, don't you know how? Look at the sharpness that you got. How many folk you can't stand? I mean, what if God thought like you? And you ought to thank God. Matter of fact, you ought to just go and shout hallelujah. That God don't think like you. Look at how many folk you've been done away with a long time ago. My reason. And I know it's a psychological message, but my reasoning don't always line up with God. Lord, so guess what? In many instances, Christians can end up losing their joy because of the worration that they go through because your reasoning don't line up with God's. You can tell I spent some time with this. So I lose my joy, I lose my peace. And I end up worrying about some stuff that I cannot control. And I probably should preach the message right there. I got a couple of you babies in here, you worried about some stuff you ain't got no control over. Don't join church. I know you're in here. Hey, guess what? You sitting here straight struggling with worry because of something you can't handle. You can't handle your kid if they bad. Let me add on to that. Especially if they bad and they grown. Let me go further. They bad, they grown, and live on their own. So you can't run your kid's house. You at your house worried about your kids drinking and they have nothing just start drinking. You just found out they were drinking. You just happened to see them. And you come to church worried and you don't want to say amen to the message. So you worried because you don't understand it. You worried about that thing. And when you look at the text, guess what? And when you look at the chapter, the whole Phillipians, the believers who do not have single-mindedness, now that's what he deals with. You ain't got time. I'm going to bring you up in a few minutes. I got you covered. I'm on your page. Hold on. And so in chapter 1 he tells, right? He deals with, you ain't got time to read all of that. That's too much. So Horace, watch this. He tells him, guess what? You got to have single-mindedness. And then he gets to chapter 2. Guess what, Cunningham? He deals with the fact that you got to have submissive-mindedness. And single-minded, then submissive-mindedness. Then he gets to chapter 3, and he argues about your mindedness has to be spiritual. Now, your mind and God's mind is not the same. That's why the reasoning is different. Lord have mercy. Thank you, Richard. You see where I'm going. And guess what? Then he gets to chapter 4. Then he gets to chapter 4. He says, now you need to have a secured mind. In other words, my mind, I've learned how to think straight. Boy, that's what Lord have mercy. Yeah, I got a couple babies in here. You ain't thought straight in a long time. I know you're sitting in here. And guess what? You've been struggling with thinking straight. Thinking straight, and your name don't even belong in the same sentence. I mean, you struggle with thinking straight. I mean, you ain't thought straight since you was to learn your ABCs. I mean, guess what? You struggle with thinking straight. And guess what? When you start thinking straight, guess to get something on the inside to help you start thinking straight. And then get your mind to be secure. Now I want to argue something else before I deal with the text. This worry thing. So he deals with worry from reasoning in the Phillipians chapter. He deals with worry, and worry, our English word for worry comes from Anglo-Saxon word, which means to strangle. In other words, when you worry, it strangles you physically. I mean, when you worry, it strangles your emotions. And when you worry, guess what? It strangles you spiritually. When you worry, it definitely has an impact on your pocketbook. Lord have mercy. Anybody ever worried about having enough money? Look at I hear you say it right now. That's me now. You ever just worried that when the next dollar gonna come? Matter of fact, let me find my post office Christians. And the old post office Christians is you know a check coming, but you can't wait for the postman to bring it. And you calling the post office talking about y'all got anything for me? And I'm wrong church. This Germantown crowd messing me up. Because I wish I had. Let me go to South Memphis over here. Come on. And anybody ever been broke and you was wondering when you gonna get the next dollar and the dollar that you did get and what was already paid out, and you was wondering how you was gonna get some extra. Let me ask you, what am I musicians? Y'all tell them to come back in church. I want to talk to them, but they're gone. But it's funny. I mean, when you deal with worry, worry will strangle you. Your best meal won't even taste good when you worry. Matter of fact, banana pudding don't even taste sweet when you worry. Barbecue don't even taste like a cube when you worry. Lord, so the Bible turns, he says, the preachers was talking in the back, and somebody mentioned the word anxious. I said, be quiet. I said, be quiet, because guess what? If you keep talking, you're in my message. Because I didn't want them to think I was talking about them. Because I was already there. I had the page already open. And they thought I was going to say something about them, so I thought I need to warn them. You need to hush. Dear friend, you need to hush your mouth, because I'm getting ready to talk about don't be anxious. And he says, be careful. And he says, be anxious means literally to be torn apart. And see, anytime you're anxious for something to happen, it tears you up on the inside. Oh, I said, let me find a couple of babies in here where God ain't moved quick enough. And you struggling with this thing. So God know he need to move in my behalf. And guess what God is? Girlfriend, he ain't even moving in your behalf. And you working the Lord. You working. You working. He said, don't be anxious. Come on, he says, don't be anxious, because worry comes when the thoughts in our minds and our feelings in our hearts pulls in a different direction. It tears us apart. So my reasoning says, I should have had this job. And my reasoning says, guess what? I can't believe this man got away from me. I can't believe this woman got away from me. I can't believe I didn't get that car. But guess what? That's your reason, but not God. So what causes us to worry is wrong thinking, and wrong thinking is called one consultant said stinking thinking. And sometimes our thinking stinks. When you have a bad attitude, and in chapter 4 he deals with Paul he made up in his mind, said, I'm not going to worry about people. Y'all said, yes, I'm on my way. And so we argued in that first verse, now you can follow me. Well, I got you where I want you. So in chapter 4, he says, and therefore, my brethren, dearly beloved and long for, he said, my joy and crown, so stand fast, Lord. My dearly beloved, said, I beseech you this and beseech him that they be of the same mind, Lord. So we had two church folk, and guess what? And they couldn't get along. All right. Hey, y'all are going to talk to me. Let me find some football Christians here that want to have a little jamboree here. Church folk couldn't get along. I mean, and guess what? You ever seen some church folk? I know we don't have them in this church because everybody saying everybody holy. Everybody holy. You know, I got about 99.9 to me. Every now and then I get a hellraiser come through. Every now and then I get the I'll be trying to run them out of here just so every now and then yes, I do. I'll be trying to run you straight up out of here. You won't stay long out around this church. If you're raised in here, this ain't the right place. Go down to Malone's church. Go down to church to Contentment. I don't care where you go. Don't raise it over here. I'm too old. I ain't got time. That's what you should have been with us day one when the church started. You got to understand what I've been through to get to this particular. I ain't got time. Look, I ain't got much patience with foolishness. Guess what? Here these women, and I'm in the Bible. They couldn't get along. They were singing in the choir, but they couldn't get along. They was on the mother's ministry, but they couldn't get along. Look, I know it sounds like I'm talking about you. Come on. But they couldn't get along. They couldn't even hold hands and pray. They couldn't get along. And they didn't like each other because one dress was shorter than the other. Come on over here for him, man. And I need to tell you something. I got about 20 minutes. You know what I need to tell you is verse 1. You need to understand what it says. And never allow people to make you major in minor things. But whatever you do, don't allow people to make you major in minor things. See, your foolishness with me is insignificant. See, one thing that I've learned, ain't nobody that important in this church that I need to be mad overnight about.